And I'm very concerned about this growing gap between rich and poor. It is now so big and dangerous. I mean, the middle class today is getting poorer and poorer and poorer because, our school systems teach us nothing about money. What does school teach you about money? Nothing. So, what do you expect? So in America today, at one time the richest country in the world, America is now the biggest debtor nation in the world. We're printing $1 trillion every 90 days. How long does it take to spend $1 trillion? I say this all the time. You spent $1 a second, it would take you 31,688 years to spend $1 trillion. But we print it every 90 days. We're bankrupt. So I hated school. School's education is important, but what does school teach you to become? So this is book number 2 in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Schools tell us to go to school, get a job, or be self-employed like a doctor or a lawyer, a smart person. This was Rich Dad here. Rich Dad says once you become a business owner, an entrepreneur like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, Apple is still one of the biggest companies around. And I stands for insider. Now, people will tell you insider investing is illegal. That is not true. It's all insider. The only question is, how close to the inside are you? And most of these guys aren't even close to this. They have 401ks, mutual funds, ETFs, all of the garbage like Tony Robbins sells. Or other people, like my friend Dave Ramsey says, live debt free. I don't do any of that stuff. So if you want to follow them, follow your teachers. But I just don't like that. And I'm very concerned about the gap between the rich and the poor because these guys are getting poor and these guys are getting richer. That's my concern. It's dangerous. So let me explain something to you. How many people have been told, live below your means? Let me say it again. How many were told, live below your means? It's the biggest fucking lie told. Who likes living below your means? Do you think the poor like being poor? Do you think the poor like fine dining at McDonald's? You know what I mean? Most of us want to get rich. But of course, our school systems teach us nothing about money. And that's not a mistake. When I researched how come our schools don't teach anything about money, it goes back to some of the richest people on earth, the Rockefellers. I worked for the Rockefellers, Standard Oil. They understood oil. I went to school for oil. I drove oil tankers. So anyway, I learned from the rich. So the reason live below your means is ridiculous is because you don't get rich eating at McDonald's. I don't care what you say. You have diarrhea, you probably have garbage in your guts and all this stuff, and you're probably fat and ugly. But eating at McDonald's won't make you rich, sports fans. Occasionally I'll dine. I was in Hawaii a few months ago. I liked it. Good food, tasty, all that. Not good for you, but I enjoyed it, okay? So this is how you get rich, not living below your means. It goes to this. This is book number 1. This is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that's this game here, the cash flow board game, which came before the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This came out in 96. Rich Dad came out in 1997. So the way the rich get richer by not living below your means is you have your assets. This is income statement. This is financial literacy. Vocabulary, income, expense, asset, liability, statement of cash flow. What they should teach you at school. I just taught you, the most important parts about financial education in 5 seconds. Any idiot, including college professors, could understand this, but they don't know how this thing works here. So the way I get richer by not living below my means is because my assets buy my liabilities. Let me say that again. So I was just talking to my crew here, the latest car I bought. It's a 500 Shelby GT. Not very expensive car, but do I need a 500 GT? No. I also have Ferraris, Rolls Royces, and all that. Ferraris, Rolls Royces, a nice house, they're all liability. Definition of a liability is if it takes money from your pocket, it's a liability. Assets, by definition, put money in your pocket. Could it be that tough? Could it be that tough? Is this financial literacy? Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money from your pocket? Even a moron, a college professor can understand that one. So all I do to get rich, when I wanted my Ferrari, it was like $600,000. It was beautiful. I've had 4 Ferraris. They're gorgeous. I recommend them for every young guy who needs sex. It'll get you there pretty quickly. You drive up with a Ferrari, or you can drive up in a beat-up Toyota. The positioning is a little bit different here. All I had to do was find the asset that paid for the Ferrari. Ta-da! You just got it. Your job as young people is to learn the definition of an asset. An asset puts money in your pocket whether you work or not. So my friend Kenny McElroy and I own an apartment house. When I wanted to buy a Ferrari, I just called Kenny up and I said, Kenny, I need about $500,000 to pay for my Ferrari. He said, deal, done. So I bought the asset, paid for the Ferrari. Ta-da! You don't have to go to med school or MBA programs, all of the garbage they teach you to understand that. Let's play this cash flow board game. This is the board game here, Have fun, learn, train your brain to think like a capitalist, not a Marxist. Most academics are Marxists. They're nice people, but they're freaking Marxists. I won't mention any names, but just running for office right now. This is November 2024. Assets buy your liabilities. I was just saying to these young guys here, I've never had Kenny McElroy and I never had Shelby GTs. Carroll Shelby built, he was Ford versus Ferrari. This guy Shelby was another entrepreneur like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. He says, I think Ford can beat Ferrari. Since I own Ferrari, it's kind of pissed me off. I say, well, listen to this guy. Ken McElroy and I said, let's go buy a Shelby. I'm stuck in traffic with a $600,000 car going nowhere. Why do I need a Shelby? It makes no sense. But the other day, because of you two guys in front of me shooting this video, I said, maybe I should buy a Shelby. All I have to do is buy the asset that pays for the Shelby. But that takes financial IQ. How do I find this? And that takes practice. Two gentlemen I'm sitting in front of right now, Josh and PJ. Your job is to make sure my videos make enough money to pay for my Shelby. The two of you are fucking geniuses. Your job is to create this to buy that. But what happens to poor people is they live below their means. They never come here. Or they drive a beat up old car. They think, well, I'm living below my means. I'm really smart. I'm living debt free. How fucking stupid is that? When all you have to do is learn to be an entrepreneur, learn how to find assets that pay for your liabilities. Ex-wife Kim said, just go buy an asset. And that caused me to go and search and look and do this. And my first Ferrari, I bought a self-storage unit in Austin, Texas, and the self-storage unit bought my Ferrari. Guess what? Ferrari's gone, still have a self-storage unit. It's still putting money in my pocket. It's that simple. It's a matter of structure of thought, it's discipline. And can you keep your discipline? Can you keep focus? Don't bullshit yourself. Don't let other people bullshit you. Your assets buy your liabilities. Poor people have liabilities, never buy their assets. Nice house, nice cars, nice women, but they're broke. Not very smart. Again, as a concerned citizen, this gap between rich and poor is too wide today. It's dangerous. But we have Marxists teaching our school systems today. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, invest in your financial education and let your assets buy your liabilities. So young people and parents, and even you old guys like me, if you really want to change the way you think, this is the cash flow board game. I built it with my wife Kim in 1996, before there was Rich Dad. The reason we built this board game here is because Maria Montessori, great educational entrepreneur of the Montessori school system, says, what the hand does, the mind remembers. So I learned everything just playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1031 Red Hotel. I own Red Hotels all over the place. I play games. Other people went for their MBAs and learned nothing. Come up with student loans thanks to Barack Obama, a guy who pushed more student loans than anybody else. He's a drug pusher, this guy Obama. Today, student loans are a $1.8 trillion drain on our society just because this communist Obama and his wife Shell. They want you to go to college and learn nothing about money. If that's not a conspiracy, if that's not anti-capitalist, I don't know what is. So don't listen to guys like Obama. He's from Hawaii. He's what they call a royal Hawaiian, a black guy. But he thinks the best way to get rich is to become a Marxist and tell other people what to do. I don't like him. And Trump is my really good friend. I know some people hate him. But if you don't like Trump, then vote for Obama. You know what I mean? Either voting capitalist or Marxist. Cash flow board game here is to educate you. It's designed to teach you, to get your brain firing so you're having fun. I learned it playing Monopoly, but what separates this game from Monopoly is this here. It's called a financial statement. This is what your banker asks for. My banker has never asked me for my report card. You've seen my Bentley out here. My license plate says 1.9 GPA. I'm proud of it. I was a dumb shit, but I'm very good with my financials. My banker wants to see this, not my report card. So when you guys want to grow up and stop listening to guys like Obama and Kamala and all those other woke people, grow up, play a cash flow board game, learn to do this, and learn to have your assets pay for your liabilities. I say this much: God wants you to be rich. So God wants you to have all the assets you have. You can play with the liabilities you want. I don't need 3 Ferraris, but God says you can have them. I know I'm going to go to hell for that one. Thank you very much.